it's just the Lego movie was always my goal. I felt like because I watched that movie and I was like, this is crazy, and I always watch behind the scenes. I watched that on loop. Because it's just so fascinating. I'm like, this is so cool. Like, it's just so, I don't even know how to put in words, but I just always loved it. And I was like, I want to do that, you know? Like, I need that in my life. So, yeah, I guess it kind of was, in the back of my mind was actually what was pushing me to do all this stuff. And then ended up back to that and doing that in the end. With that, I know there's other people who would want to do that, right? Because I'm not, there's so many people in this world. I'm no way I'm the only person who is obsessed with that style. So I decided, I want to make it easy for other people as well to get to do that. Yeah, and I just decided, why not make these tools for myself and for people who are alike, and so they don't have to go through the pain of figuring it out and going through like fucking your whole childhood waiting and like trying to learn these skills just so you can get to do it.
Hello everyone, and welcome to TFOL Talk, the podcast where we shine a light on awesome teen fans in the LEGO community doing amazing things, and maybe the occasional AFOL too. I'm Doodlebricks, aka Kavi, and today we're going to be hanging out with Citrine, otherwise known as Citrine's Animations. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm very much looking forward to this episode.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Hell yeah. So I'd say let's just hop into the first question, which is, who is Citrine's Animations and what do you do in the LEGO world?
Yeah, so I've been creating animations on YouTube for a couple years now. I mostly make them myself, but I always have help from other people in my community. And I just try to make people laugh with these silly animations I think of, like usually the most random things. Like they're almost fully Lego. Sometimes there's a little PNG, but that's an exception. But yeah, apart from that, I also just like to make tutorials to help people also be able to create animations like I do.
All right, nice. Well, we'll definitely be touching a lot more on that a little bit later on in the episode. But next I want to ask, are you okay if I ask you how old you are?
Yeah, I'm 19. I feel old now, but compared to Lego me, she's like who was the 14-year-old animator. I'm like, I was 14 when I was making Mecha Face. So,
no, I totally feel that, man. Like, I think all of us, like even ones who are not that far out in age from him, because like I'm 18, about to be 19 too. I think we were all like, oh no, I was doing stuff then too. I swear.
Yeah. No, yeah, next up, they're not going to put him on the headlines because he's going to be like 15 or like 16 if he's in the next one. They'd just be like 16 or like 17-year-old animator works on Spider-Verse. Oh, wait, never mind. Not that cool anymore.
To be fair, that is a pretty big achievement still at 17.
Yeah, but it's just funnier if like they like find another younger kid because they're like, oh, this one won't get as many clicks. They're like, sorry, kid.
We got to search the LEGO community now. Who is someone else that
we
age
need a
who does Lego
5-year-old.
stuff? I love that. Oh, man. All right. And how and when did you get into Lego?
I mean, I can't remember when I didn't know like what's a thing.
Yep. Same
Which is
here,
an
man.
issue. But like I remember I was doing stop motion animations when I like was waiting with my mom for like my sister's gymnastics and waiting to pick her up. I was literally in the waiting room and there's other parents. I'm there doing stop motion animations, and because that was before I was even doing preschool. Like or something like that. I just remember doing that stuff. Like I was doing it from day one.
So it's just kind of always been a thing in your life then.
Yeah, it's just I've always loved it. It's because I'm a very creative person, so it just perfectly aligns with that.
Nice. Do you like remember what your first set was at all? Because like I don't. I've just always remembered having it.
No idea.
Yeah, I think a lot more people are having that now, especially like in our generation. I've heard a lot of people be like, I don't know what my first set was. They just kind of has always had it around,
Exactly, yeah.
So how did you end up joining the online LEGO community then?
I mean, yeah, so really, when I was younger, I always wanted to have a YouTube channel, and then I eventually finally did. My parents are like, "You're finally like turning 13. You're legally allowed now." Well, in theory. So they like let me have one under their stuff, right? And I made a trading card game YouTube channel, like where I made my own trading card game stuff.
Oh.
That's what Dice Quest was. But yeah, so I went from there. Then since I've always liked Lego, and I went from trading card games to like I had always some little stop motions I'd always randomly upload, and then 2D animation, and then I went to Lego 3D stuff because I've always wanted to do that stuff. Like ever since I saw the Lego Movie, I remember trying to use like some crappy Minecraft animation app and tried to make Lego stuff in it back when the Lego Movie was happening.
Oh
Like
my
I've always
God.
wanted to do it. Like I remember back then I was like telling my friends at like school in like fifth grade or something, and I'm just like, guys, I'm almost there. I almost can do it. I almost can make Lego animations on this.
I'm nearly there.
And I said that because I made a cylinder in a Minecraft animation program. But yeah, so I eventually started doing Lego stuff after my 2D things because I was like, oh wait, I actually figured it out. I've finally gotten like the knowledge, to do this. And yeah, from there it was kind of hard for me to find people online for does the same stuff I do because there was like 2 other people basically. And then from there, I kind of had to create my own subset of the Lego community called Blender Bricks. Right. So like I joined it like so long ago because I kind of created that subset. Like I never really joined fully the main Lego community because I didn't really see I could belong, but like at the time I was just some nerd who's in Lego stuff. Like I didn't have much like proof I know Lego. I just had these 2D animations and like one Lego animation. So yeah, I kind of created the subset of people, and now there's like over 3,000 people on that server. Ugh,
Oh
scary.
wow.
I
So
own
you
it.
created the Blender Brick server then?
Well, I own it now. I created it with 2 other people, Owinator
Okay.
and Snooper King, they both returned. Now they like disappear. Normal things on the internet, totally.
Exactly.
But
The like mandatory hiatuses.
yeah, totally. But now, yeah, after basically it was all 3 of us. I kind of like even at the beginning I was like spearheading it all, being the main person, but technically Owinator made it. Anyways, eventually when they both like just disappeared, they just gave ownership to like me, and I'm like, yay.
Okay.
But yeah, so it makes sense because I'm the one who's been there since the start and been spearheading a bunch of the stuff, right? Like the first minifigure rig that everyone used, the mecha face, the nuke scripts, like just a bunch of stuff, right? So
Right.
it's
So
all good.
you've been kind of one of the main people behind this whole boom in Lego Blender animation since the beginning then.
Yeah, please don't send the hate towards me, the people who don't like it for some reason. Like I saw like 1 or 2 comments from like popular stop motion animators being like, the 3D stuff is great, but like I like the stop motion stuff. It was like the 3D stuff sometimes is bad. I'm like, but no, it's okay. I mean, yeah, I mean, there's none of the 3D stuff before, so I guess they can blame me. But hey, okay, it's all cool in the end. But yeah, I mean, yeah, there's nothing. You literally had to figure out everything out on your own. The only resource we had before like Blender Bricks created was Mecha Bricks, aka just an okay 3D models of Lego bricks other than Lego Digital Designer. So from there,
Right.
we kind of built upon it, right? With Blender Bricks, made minifigure rigs. I made Mecha Face. I made helped a lot of people on that server, and yeah, and it's just all the way built up. And now there's Lego Me, who's a fan of my channel, who we convinced to join the server because he's like just turned the right age, and then he joined the server, and then I taught him a bunch because he was such a fanboy. He still is. And then eventually he got his work in the movie. I'm like, that's why I do this stuff. Why I make this stuff, because I want to see people, go up and like do these things. So it was really exciting when I saw that.
That's
Yeah.
incredible, man. I absolutely love that. So you're saying like before there was just the add-on that Mecha Bricks had for Blender, or was that you guys orchestrated that as well?
No, we didn't make the add-on. There's just that was his own thing. There wasn't any animation stuff, so there was
Right.
just Mecha Bricks, so you could make 3D renders, but no one was doing animations really. There's only like 5 videos. I felt like that were
I
actually
see.
decent. So
Okay.
yeah,
That's
no,
cool
yeah.
to know. That's awesome. All right. Let's see. And where are you most prevalent in the online Lego community for anyone who wants to find your stuff?
Oh well, yeah. I'd say yeah. Of course, the animation stuff. And actually, I can't just say Blender Bricks again. I mean, yeah, you can find me animation, Lego animation stuff. I would like to appear on other channels, but I don't know. I
Nice.
mean, I'm
But-
getting contacts recently, so
Right, because YouTube is your main platform that you post videos on, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, YouTube. It's just mainly YouTube. Yeah.
Okay.
for a while TikTok had more like followers, and I felt horrible because I don't like TikTok. I was like, I started
feel you,
making
man.
YouTube shorts, and I was like, okay, I can upload these on TikTok too. It won't harm me. But then TikTok ended up having more followers for a while, and I was like, no, I'm a TikToker technically. So then I like was just so sad and was like, stop doing shorts because I wanted to not be a TikToker. So then now I'm like blew up on YouTube even more, and I'm like almost at 200K subs. So oof.
That's crazy, dude. I love that.
It's wild.
Involuntary TikToker.
Yeah, I don't like it. I'm like, I'd let it die off now. I just don't want
That's
to.
fair. That's totally fair. I get that. Okay, so originally on the question here, I have, how did you find out about Lego Blender animation? But really, you kind of created it in
I
a way.
am the Senate.
Exactly. So do you think you could go a little bit more in depth about kind of what led you to creating that and kind of the process of all that a bit more?
Yeah, so I remember it was so early on. Like, I remember when I first started trying to do 3D Lego stuff, like after my 2D animation things, I really was doing all the research I could finding any person who's doing one that was like the Lego movie or any rigs I could find. There's nothing that wasn't bendy. Because I don't like the bendy
like the
stuff.
Ninjago style stuff, right?
No, yeah, I can't with that, but you know, I don't know. I might end up working for one of those studios soon. It's like they're near, like I'm where my school's at the same freaking city. So.
Oh no way, that's epic.
Yeah, like I showed them my work. I'm like, ooh, and I'm like, oh gosh, what have I done? But no, yeah, it's interesting because like I was doing so much research back then, and I saw like there's like nothing. So I found these two other YouTubers who are doing slight stuff that was similar. They're doing not as Lego movie style, but they're doing it kinda. It's just their motions, like the movement wasn't as cartoony. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. So I think I forget what happened exactly, but like one of them emailed me. I think it was Onator, and he's like, yo, let's make a Discord to make this easier for us to talk and figure stuff out. Because like they were talking before I joined, like talking to them because I was like a kid and I didn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then we decided to make the server, and then I kind of spearheaded it. And I was just like, okay, like one of them was like, let's make a website. I'm like, okay, I'll make a rig that we can put on the website that works for any minifigures. And then we also like, okay, let's make tutorials. Okay, let's have little blog posts for like helpful things. And then we also have like, okay, the server can have a bunch of help channels, and we can just help out new people who want to get into this. But no, yeah, so it really just was, when I was trying to get into that Blender Lego stuff, was really just me realizing there was none that was of quality that I wanted to do. So then I decided to make that.
To basically make the kind of animation that like make it possible, the kind that you wanted to do.
Yeah, like, and now there's way too many people doing it, but whatever. That's kind of like my own fault now. But hey, it's okay. It's cool. But it gets stressful. So I'm like, we have like moderators now on the server, and they're just like, but it's fine. They're surviving. I think they're surviving.
All right, so that's pretty cool. And like obviously the Lego movie was like the main inspiration for that style. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh my.
And how come you wanted to like create the possibility for yourself to, make Lego movie style animation rather than like sticking to traditional brick filming, since you did do some of that before, right?
Yeah, throughout my childhood, I was always doing stop motion, which I always found fun, but I'm a bit of a nerd in terms I like tech stuff. I've always, like, when I was super young, I was trying to do anything I could on the computer. Like, I made a website in, like, second grade.
Oh, wow.
I was doing, like, I made a card game as well. Like I drew it on the computer. Like, I literally was, like to my parents, I'm like, please, I want to be able to draw on the computer somehow. And I fucking found PowerPoint. And I'm like, maybe I can fucking use this. And I somehow managed to draw in that. Don't know how, but I did. My parents were like, oh, all right, what? So eventually, I kept going, and then ended up, making... I started like doing 2D animation eventually because my parents got me like a drawing tablet. Just one like when I was like, I don't know what birthday it was. I kind of want to know. It felt like I was really young. I felt like not my 7th. Maybe it was later. Maybe 10th or something. I don't know. I need to see. I want to know that now because that's interesting. Because that's about like the main event, canon event.
Yeah, it was your canon event, exactly.
But like with that, I started doing a bunch of drawing, and then I was doing trading card games so I could get better drawing digitally, so I could make the art. Then I did 2D animation, and then it's just the Lego movie was always my goal. I felt like because I watched that movie, and I was like, this is crazy, and I always watched behind the scenes. I watched that on loop. It's crazy, because it was just so fascinating. I'm like, this is so cool. like it's just so I don't even know how to put in words, but I just always loved it, and I was like,
Yeah.
I want to do that, you know, like I need that in my life. So yeah, I guess it kind of was in the back of my mind was actually what was pushing me to do all this stuff, and then ended up back to that and doing that in the end. But with that, I know there's other people who would want to do that, right? Because I'm not. There's so many people in this world. I have no way I'm the only person who is obsessed with that style. So you know, I decided, you know, I want to make it easy for other people as well to get to do that, right? So yeah, and I just decided, why not make these tools for myself and for people who are alike, and so they don't have to go through the pain of figuring it out and going through like fucking your whole childhood waiting and like trying to learn these skills just so you can get to doing it. So yeah.
Yeah, that's epic, man. I love that. And the fact that you really like took the initiative to essentially create like a type of technology that like adapt what was already available to give people the opportunity to match the quality of the Lego movies from their home. Like that, what you did is like absolutely insane. And I just love that you kind of pushed for that and we're like, no, I want this, so I'm going to make it myself. I'm not going to wait around for someone else to do it.
No, yeah, like it's good because like ever since I stopped being more active in the server for a bit, like especially during film school and also like last year, but especially film school, because I'm like I had like no time to work on Lego stuff unless I'm very motivated. Like when you're too short video, that one I was like I need to, but
Yeah.
basically. Yeah, so like it's very like for a bit it was like I saw the community evolving stuff that I wasn't like leading it. I was like, oh, my child is like leaving me. No, like I was like, no, I can't let go. But it was really cool to see because I was proud. You know, I'm like literally this is cool. I'm like these people that I helped get here are now pushing further than I've gone, and I'm just like it's just so cool. It's like for example, there's Lego Me now where he's doing things that I haven't like. I'd say I like especially there's materials, there's a lighting. Like I'm like damn. Like, this is what I wanted to happen. I wanted to push people to be able to do this, like, and get further than I would at their age, right? So it's just cool to see.
No, it must be crazy to just see the impact that, like, you've had on this space and just how many people have taken to it now.
Yeah, it's crazy. I can't wrap my mind around it.
Can't imagine. All right, let's see. And you've been doing it for about, like, 3 to 4-ish years, right?
Probably. I don't know.
How did that... I think so. I think, like... I checked on your channel and one of the earliest like Lego like digital animation things was about that long ago. I can't believe it's been that long already. Like I discovered you not too long after you started doing that, and it feels like boom, years later. It's like how did that happen?
It is weird. I don't know.
It's wild.
I'm glad that I haven't died off on YouTube yet.
Absolutely not. Okay, so you've been in the brick film and Lego Blender animation space for a while now, and I'm curious to hear like how it's evolved since you've joined and the brick film space and then created the Lego Blender, I guess like branch of that or whatever, and kind of how they've affected each other and just what's the change over that time been like from your experience?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I remember the stop motion stuff for sure, the community, right, with that. And like I never really fully joined it, but I've always been aware and always watching them. So I can definitely notice. Like I remember back then, there's just like Brotherhood Workshop was a classic. Like he was the one kind of doing more VFX stuff in his animations. And nowadays you can literally see like people using 3D Lego as backdrops or other effects, like, and it's just way easier for them, which is super cool. And it's also crazy to see like for 3D animation stuff now, like people are getting into the depths of stuff that I remember when I was starting. Like I was making all these tools people could use, and then I was doing explorations that I was doing on my own that I wasn't sharing yet because I'm like, okay, I need these people to like relax. But like basically, yeah, like I was doing a bunch of material explorations and like higher quality minifigure models, and now people, I'm seeing like, oh crap, they've evolved so much. They're like gaining so much knowledge. They're doing things that like I was doing for like a while back, but like that no one really was doing for so long, because like they're like, okay, we need better materials. I'm like, oh my god, it's finally time. And they're all gonna be like evolve. It's crazy. But it's like at first, like I think when I look at it, I'm like, oh, it hasn't changed much, but really it is changing rapidly. And yeah, same thing with stop motion. I just find that one crazy. It's just I'm happy stop motion feels untouched overall, but it also has just the right amount of 3D in it where it isn't like ruining the vibe of stop motion animations, but it just enhances it, which I love seeing that. It's just I still love stop motion, so like I can't.
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't want to ever. I hope this ever replaces it, and I don't think it ever will. It shouldn't. It doesn't deserve to.
No, I get what you're saying, man, and I think as well, like there's enough of a difference between the digital stuff and the IRL stop motion that like each can still exist on its own and be just as big without kind of meddling with each other, because also they both require, like, it's not like digital animation is like typing something into an AI and then boom, it's done for you. Like, it's hard. It takes a lot of work. So it's not just like the easy way out for people. If anything, it might be harder in some respects. It's like there's enough of, I feel like, a commitment people need to put into both to make it so like one isn't the easy way out, And there's enough of a difference between the look of them as well that people will sometimes still prefer traditional stop motion over the digital stuff and vice versa.
Oh yeah, like I see some people who like want to do like Lego animation. They're like, well, I can't afford any Lego bricks, so I won't do stop motion. I'll do 3D. I'm like, that's not the mindset. Like, that's not why you're supposed to do it. You're not supposed to do it just because have the Lego bricks. No, it's a different art style. Like, literally, it's completely different. Don't try to don't do it for that reason. Don't like ruin don't not do stop motion because of that. Like, it's just when I see that stuff, that hurts me, because I'm like, no, this is not why I made this community. I don't want people to just do that. Like, you can be creative if you don't have enough Lego bricks, right? But no, it's just,
because they're also like two different styles of animation too. Like Brickfilms are stop motion, whereas even though the Lego Blender animations are inspired by stop motion, it's like digital 3D and like keyframe animation and all that. It's two very different styles of animation.
Yeah, like you're able to go over your animations and adjust things to no end, right? So it's a big difference. It really matters on like the animator, right? Like I sometimes just animate straight ahead, which is what stop motion is, right? Mm-hmm. You just animate straight, like, boom, 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 next pose, right? But sometimes I do pose, where you have key poses and you in between them. So like that's the thing about stop motion. You can't do that. So that's what gives it a different feel. Yeah, I wish like in actual stop motion films, they do make key poses to show the director, but sadly they have to recreate them as they go. They can't just go back in time. I just wish, but that's the good thing about 3Ds. You can do that, but then it also removes that feel of stop motion if you do it. So
definitely, there's each is like they're different enough in their own respects. I think that like they kind of each have their own place, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It was really funny. I'm probably not the only one, but when I first watched the Lego Movie and I was like 8 years old. Oh my god, that was 10 years ago. But I thought it was actual stop motion, and at the beginning I
never
thought
did.
No, I did, because I thought that was the whole appeal of it. I was like, oh, it's like the biggest Lego stop motion ever. And then I went to one of the Legolands and saw like the physical set that they built.
You're like, this
to
looks
then
way
do
worse.
Yeah, well, no, not even that. I was like, oh no, see, it's real.
Oh my god, you believed it?
I did. I mean, I knew something looked different, but I was like, oh, they just have like really good cameras or something, because I didn't understand how any of this worked at that age.
Yeah, that's fair. No, yeah, I mean, I don't recall not believing, like, I don't recall believing it was stop motion. Maybe I did, and then when I found out it was, and I was like, whoa, and maybe that was what the big thing was. I don't remember, but but all I remember for me, apart from just the movie being so cool, like, it's just watching the behind the scenes, like, that was something I was constantly on, right? So I don't recall ever being like thinking that it was stop motion, but I don't know. Might have to ask my siblings for that one. See what they remember.
Hey, if anybody's watched, so for whoever's watched this far, if you thought the Lego Movie was either stop motion or was actually 3D as it was, let us know, because I'm curious to see how many people thought which of it was. But yeah, I also thought, like, when they did the mouth movements, I thought that they were swapping out the head.
Yeah, that's the feel they go for. So
yeah, I was like, that's a lot of printed heads they must have had.
I forget if like it was in the trailer, but like there's like a tracker device Wild Style has early on in the movie to find the brick de resistance. That's sorry, I'm too French for that. The brick of resistance. There you go.
The piece of resistance.
Piece of resistance. Yeah, that's what it was. Sorry. Oh, my French brain is overriding. Anyways, basically, they have a tracker and it has like a sticker / print, and it basically, that part I think was in a trailer, which is pretty convincing as stop motion, because it literally had like a sticker for each single different drawing was on it, and it would even swap the Lego piece of like the imperfections on it. It'd slightly wiggle it. and basically it literally looked like you're actually replacing the piece and with a different one that's stickered in it. But that one, I think that was in the trailer, because that one is very convincing. Like I've done that in some of my animations, where I have an animation on some piece. I just jitter it around and change the fingerprints and stuff.
Interesting.
It works.
That's really cool. I also wonder if like the people who, worked on all the Lego movies are seeing what's happening now and they're like, how did they do that? We needed like a studio support and all that. What did they do? How did they do it? I
should ask one of them. I have to contact one that worked like on the first Lego movie. I remember talking to this guy really early in like when I was developing Blender Brick stuff, right? I remember talking to this guy because he was on Mecha Bricks like for a little bit one time, and I was like, holy crap! And I emailed him like a little kid. Like I bet you if I look back at them now, I'd cringe at how I'm speaking. Because like even me looking back at my emails with cold ones, I'm like, oh my god, I was such a little kid. I was like, hey, here's an update. So tomorrow I'm gonna render it, and then this, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, they don't need to know that. They don't even understand. But they were really kind. Anyways, but yeah, with that one guy I worked animated on Lego Movie, I asked him so many questions, like how are the faces done? How did they make it? And I just thought he knew everything, but he's just an animator, not a rigger or modeler. So I was just like, give me all the answers. He's like, it's probably like curves on the face or something. And I'm like, how do you animate it? How did you guys go by animating? He's like, usually straight ahead. I'm like, okay, write that down. But like, I should have tried to email him again, see if he's still around. That sounds dark. But like, just see what's up, because I'd love to show him my stuff, because he was always supportive back then when my stuff was meh. But yeah, I mean, I wonder. I'll see if I can ask him.
I think you should, for sure. Like, keeping those contacts alive is like super important for like anything you want to do. So I think that would be a great idea to get in contact with him again. But that's so cool that you have that connection in the first place. And I love what you're saying there about like, you'd think that like they'd know like all about it, but of course they're only hired for specific jobs. Like, he only did the animating part. He's like, I don't know how the technical stuff works. I just know how to make it move. But yeah, that's pretty funny. I like that.
No, yeah.
That's cool. So do you try any other types of... So you said that originally you did like 2D animation. So now do you still do any other types of animation, or is it solely the Lego Blender stuff?
Well, let's see. Yeah, like I know that I did 2D animation for a bit. And then as I've been doing Lego stuff, my Lego 3D animations, I've been doing some stop motion for that one brawl competition. I've done that like 2 times because it's just funny to see how fucking stressed I can get like over doing stop motion. I'm like, crap, I can hit things and they knock over now. That's the main thing, I'm just like, oh my god. So like those always turned out so bad. And it's so funny. Like I made like 2 videos. I might want to make another one if I like focus on YouTube after school, but we'll find out. But yeah, that was like the other things I do outside of Blender Lego for the most part. And like I'd sometimes do animations for friends for like their like videos or short films. Like I recreated those old like MLG intros with like 3D text spinning and lens flares. I guess he wanted to have some cheesy intro, so I did that. I've done so much. Like recently, I've done a 2D animation where it's like the Diary Wimpy Kid opening, where it's all drawn and then it transitions. So I've like done that for another short film someone's making. I've done many different random things outside of like stuff, and that's why now that I'm at film school, I decided to go and make my short film and have it be non-Lego, right? So, and that's like right now, that's the big thing I'm doing outside of Blender Lego. Is just I'm doing this really cool stylized film, which will be on YouTube. Ooh, but yeah, it's exciting. I'm having a lot of fun with it. But yeah, like this is like the most I've probably gotten to do outside of during when I was doing 3D Lego stuff. That isn't 3D Lego, so it's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it.
Right. Nice. That's cool to hear. So you definitely like you've gotten a quite a decent amount of experience in other types as well. So you're mixing it up, which is really cool.
Yeah, I like it all.
That's amazing. And are you interested in like making animation like a career of yours, or is it something that like you're just doing for your own personal passion?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm going to film school for animation, and like definitely
I figured.
Career. Yeah, like for me right now, it's like if I somehow don't get hired right away, because I have a lot of contacts, I'm like, please. So like I'm just like lucky in that way. So if I don't get hired right away, well then I'm just gonna focus on my YouTube and see how that goes, right? So, and both of those are just animation. So and my only options in life are animation, and I ain't complaining. So.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah. So like, I enjoy it. The only issue I have is that right now I'm more of a generalist, which is where I do like all the things, and I enjoy that. So The main other thing I'd like to do if I was in the industry, apart from animator, would be rigging, because I'm again a nerd now. I just like rigging things. So that's what else I would do, especially. But that's still in the animated films industry that I would want to work in. I wouldn't want to work on like a realistic movie. I don't know. I'll pass on that. I already get enough of real life.
Like no VFX and all that, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna have Marvel make me work late nights and unpaid extra hours. I'm fine.
I love that. Like, I'm not gonna do real life. I already have enough of that.
Yeah.
Beautiful quote right there.
Yeah.
All right. So, can you run us through like what the process of making one of your animations is like, start to finish?
All right. Yeah. I'm gonna go straight from the start. Well, at least I'm gonna go off of some like okay. There's a few variations of how the idea gets created. The Lego Me fight I did where I fought him because I was mad at him for not crediting me in the movies, the quote unquote. But no, I'm actually really proud of him. But I did that because people thought I'd be mad at him. I was like, okay, wait, I can use this correct content. So I was on a call on Blender Bricks with like one of my like good friends who helps with a lot of my videos, Digital Luke, and we were just on a call and we were just like, okay, let's write a list of things Lego Me has to put in this background of his videos instead of me suing him. And that's how it starts. And we're like, okay, now let's write a fan fiction. And then it just devolves into the most ridiculous thing. We're just like writing this out of just pure like just laughter. We're just like, and very quickly writing the script like without undoing anything. We're perfectly writing this thing. We're like, Citrine's in a mental asylum theater looking at the screen. Oh my god, it's Mechaface. All of his multiverses clones up here, and he breaks through and to find Lego Me on his phone at the red carpet, and it just went insane. Like Digital Lou had like the idea for like the escalator of Citrines, and it's like the most random thing, right? So like with that idea, literally the same call, I storyboarded it and then made it for like next few months, right? That's how one idea can happen, which is very rare, but that did happen, which is wild. But other ones are like Big Dog, where that one was like an inside joke with me and my like relatives and my writers, and basically we were playing a game, obviously Human Fall Flat, and we made a character we thought was funny, and then like later we're like, I want to let's write a script about this, and then he wrote a script, and I was like, this is perfect, and we made it. So like it really comes out of the stupidest things. But like the most recent one, When You're Too Short, that one just came out of. I was like, okay, since I'm at film school, I have no time to work on my own videos or get ideas, right? Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna start saying, write an idea a day on my notes app. I only did it for one day, and that was the idea.
That was the most relatable thing ever.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, I have this great idea. I think maybe I can get more, and the idea was like a reference to Krugston, which is a 3D animator to stylize stuff on YouTube.
Oh, like, yeah.
He's a good friend of mine.
Really?
I'm not a good friend. I mean, I talked with him a bit. He it was nice because like he watched like my 2D face rig animate like tutorial. And he said like I run a stream one day, and he was like, "Yo, without that, I wouldn't be where I am without it." I'm like, "Oh my god, what the fuck?"
That's crazy.
But no, he's so cool. Anyways, one of the animations when they're like, he's trying to get like Chinese teacups or something like that, and he like talks to his like a vendor, and they're just like, how much is it? And he just goes and just does the most vague size of something, right? And from that I was like, that's just like saying how tall you are. So then I went from there, and I was like, okay, what if there's animation where instead of actually using units, because like I could make fun of America's measuring system, and just say like, well, you're 12 rats tall, but I was like, no, instead I'm just gonna say like, it's like, okay, how tall are you? I'm 4. It's like, what? It's that was the whole script. It's just like, what the hell? Like, it's just like literally, it's like, how tall are you? I'm like 6. It's just like 6 what? It's like, yeah, just 6, maybe just 7. 6. It's like, yeah. I'm just like, what the hell? So like, that was the whole idea. And then eventually I wrote the same thing the next day. So like, sure, I wrote 2 ideas, but this is the same thing. I just said that they're at a water park. I'm like, why would they be asking this? Okay, they're in a water park, seeing if he can go on the ride, and they're checking something. I don't know. And then after that, I was in my film school. I was taking a break, and I was like, wait a second. I want to storyboard this. I have a great idea. And like, that one was weird. I didn't write a script. That one was just storyboard. Like, apart from that original little idea, I literally thought, this is a great idea. What if he does this? Okay, we do the little thing. We see he's too short, and then they're like, no, you can't ride. And I literally I don't know if I had the idea for the Giga Chat part before or not. I think I kind of did, not fully. I don't think so. But I think, I was literally storyboarding. My classmates were just watching me. I'm like, what the hell is this kid doing? And like literally, I keep drawing. I'm like, oh, it's pretty basic. He's too short. And then like a one freaking drawing is just like a biblically accurate, muscular dude. He's just like, because I did like life drawing classes, so it's like super well like done, muscular freaking anatomy. So like God. It's so stupid. And I just storyboarded the whole thing. And then from there I was like, this is peak. And then I'm like wrote it into a script with Digital Luke. He wrote an ending idea because it just kind of cut off. So the ending was totally not a reference to a certain tragedy. So basically after that we changed the storyboard and put it together, and basically that's how ideas are made. That's like the first step. The rest is pretty quick. I could like do like that's kind of pre-production. Then I do more pre-production. I just send the lines to my voice actors. I'm like, do it now. I need it now. I can't wait. So yeah, that's fun. They love me totally. But no, they're all funny people.
Give me your voices.
Give me them now. So I do that. I make the sets, make the characters, and then recently what I do is I put it all in edit, and then I like with like time codes, and I do that right. And then I just go straight ahead. I just animate it all right. So like do the base poses, animate the minifigures, and then do their faces. And then after that, I'm like, okay, this looks good. I test everything. Then I just light it, composite it, which takes a long time too. I'm just going over it quickly. And then after that, I'm like, this is cinema, and then I upload it. And then people question me because they're like, what the heck is this? And I'm like, yes, it is. It is something.
It is the beauty of randomness.
Yeah, it's good. Like, I think I'm just making my, like, if you people look at what I do, I think I'm just going to describe myself now from, like, I just make crazy animations, just, like, the most insane. They just make no sense now. Like, I think that's my reputation. Now that I made the When You're Too Short video, I'm like, I've just ruined my reputation. We got Big Dog. We got the fighting a 14-year-old. We have someone being so short they rebuild themselves to be a Giga Chad. Like, oh, gosh, what have I done?
It's good though. I love it. It's like the humor is so like cursed, but it's so good. Yeah. And like I was gonna say, so your process is basically random idea, flesh it out a bit, storyboard, sometimes script writing, and then
script writing it matters in the idea. Usually script writing first, but if the idea is so good, I don't even have time to script write because I see the images. I think that I sound even more crazy now, but I see
I see the pictures, the voices.
I hear them too, the voices. So it's usually script writing, but recently it's been just the storyboard.
Yeah, so you do like the script storyboard, and then you hop into Blender, do all the animating. So you said that you do sometimes like timestamps, like key poses and stuff, but it's usually straight ahead.
So I've been more recently, ever since I've gone to film school, like I know the more of the workflow, the pipeline better, so I can plan it out better. So I like bring it into like my editing software to have all the shots, all the storyboards as put into an animatic with the voices, some sound effects, and time code, so I know how long, how many frames it is, and I can do it all right. So with that, bring it to Blender. I hit all the poses like that are on the storyboards, and then add in more. And then I don't always do straight ahead. Like I did that on the explosion at the end, which I was very happy with. It was really well done. You got to please go frame by frame. It's all brick built like effects. Please, I put so much effort. It was only for like 2 seconds, but please.
That's how it is with animation. You put so much work into one frame or a few frames, and then it's like gone immediately.
Yeah. But usually it's like background things that are on straight ahead nowadays because I have to have a very structured thing, otherwise I won't get it done, especially during film school.
Oh yeah, no, that makes total sense. Honestly, that's very clever that you do that. I still have yet to structure things like that, but
I used to not at all.
I'll take notes for sure.
Yes.
That's awesome though. And I was going to say, so I realized that we've been blabbing about animation terms, and probably a lot of people here don't know what we're talking about.
Okay.
Straight ahead animation versus, or actually, do you want to explain it?
Yeah, sure. Straight ahead is where you have your little guy, right? You make a pose, and you have like usually, hopefully, an idea in your head what you want him to end up doing. So it's literally stop motion, where you go next frame, you make the next pose, slightly going into where you're thinking you want him to go, and just go next one. Oh, slightly closer, boom, 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 all the way until he hits what you wants him to do, and you just keep going until you're done. So it's gives you a more fluid look. It's really good for like cloth or any of that. Usually that's what it's used for, like for a lot of most animation stuff.
Yeah, and like explosions and stuff, where it's like you can't really predict necessarily where it's going to go.
Otherwise, otherwise the timing is just off and it's hard to do. So straight ahead's really good, make things look fluid, but not that's always a good thing, right? Because you'd also want planning sometimes and having them to hit certain things. So that's why doing pose to pose, which is where you make the main things you want the characters to hit and like do. Right, so like you can have them sitting down. You want to look to the side. You can have them like like there's just pose to pose. Like these are key poses, I guess I'll say. There's a few different ones, but yeah, then you can have them. Yeah, you get ready to stand up and then boom, and then have them start running off. Right, and we have all these key poses you want to hit, and you basically go in and make breakdowns. So poses that show how they're gonna move in between them, and then you make more, or you use the computer to in between them. But I like doing it by hand because I'm crazy.
Yeah, so it's like the key poses are essentially like a comic book, right? Like kind of telling the most, like getting the most important poses down first, and then filling in between them.
To tell
right?
the story. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. That's good. I just realized I was like, shoot, wait, people probably don't know what we're on about, but yeah, that's awesome. All right. Let's see. And how long does it usually take you again to like do a full animation, or is there not usually like a set time? Can it be very like
let's see,
random?
Like a month, maybe if it's like a minute. Wow. Like Big Dog took like a month. I mean, I did the Cold Ones one in 2 weeks. Right. Like out of shorteners. That was from literally like beginning to end, like the 2 weeks. They gave me that notice, and I was like, okay, and just spearheaded it. And yeah, and like Big Dog was very quick too. The Lego Me one took a while because I was doing like final exams at my high school when I was graduating, so there's a lot, and I had other things going on too. And like, but the Are You Too Short? I spent a lot more time pre-production, so like I had a winter break that was like 3 weeks. I was sick for 2 weeks of that, which was horrible because I was like, I'm gonna work on a new animation, everything will be all swell, and then bleh, which sucked. So I only had the last week to actually like do stuff. So I did all the pre-production and I made like drawings of all the faces, which I started doing now because it's fun. It makes the characters more iconic. And yeah, so that one without pre-production, I mean, you know what, that one really did take a month too. Like it's just like I just didn't have time to work on things. So like I made the storyboard like a month or two before. I don't know. And then I was doing a winter break pre-production, and then I was literally animating during my school was going on. And again, it's a very intensive program. Like sometimes there's classes that end at like 10:30 p.m.
My God.
So basically, I was like doing this outside of school because I was just so motivated that I was able to do this. And people thought I'm crazy because they're probably right. But I just, and it was all worth it. Like people loved it. So that's all that matters. And I had fun doing it. So yeah, it takes usually a month for like a minute, and a little bit longer for other ones.
That is crazy. That just shows how much work it takes for an animation. Like a month for a minute. That's why, because it's intensive as well. It's like, especially digital animation, like there's a lot of factors you have to really take into account. It's not quite the same as 2D, where it's like you animate what you see. It's like you got to work with like fake like 3D space. Like it is fake isn't like it's not like in the real world 3D space, and lighting and rendering and key poses, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's wild. So that's
the 2D animators see things in their head mostly, so they're kind of crazy too.
True, they are. Like
I have a lot of 2D animator friends from my film school, and like I'm like, I wish I could do 2D animation again sometimes. Because I don't like letting the computer. So like usually 3D animation, you let the computer make the in-between poses because it saves time. But for me, I'm such an artist in terms of like I don't want the computer to do anything. So my animations, I don't let it do anything. And even at school, I like my short film I decided on because it's stylized, and also like I just want to make it cool. And so I was like, you know what? Even though it's a full human character, I'm still doing all the poses in between. I'm not letting the computer touch it.
Dude. You're essentially doing stop motion, like digitally,
I am. I really am. I don't like the computer doing.
You're creating each pose yourself completely.
Yeah, literally.
Wow.
Yeah, I just enjoy it.
That's crazy, man. Because I did like a short, like one of my first like full quote unquote Blender like Lego animations for an application to a little like week-long animation course I went to.
Oh, nice.
And for that, I did the key poses and I meant for there to be like tweening and all that. But I messed something up somewhere, and it was practically unsalvageable if I wanted to tween it. And I had like a few days, and it was already took me like 3 weeks to get to this point. So I had to do what you did and just stop motion essentially. And it took so long. I was like, never again am I doing this. So that's impressive.
But yeah, I had to learn to to control the computer and have it do the curves and all that. I don't like it, but whatever. I'm probably gonna have to do that if I work in the industry. I'll just cope by doing my stuff on the side.
Exactly. Well, I mean, hey, you kind of created what you wanted when it came to the Blender stuff. So like you could just be like, no, this is how I animate, and then create a whole new way of doing it. Who knows?
Exactly.
But yeah, that's epic, man. I love that.
Yeah.
All right. So I haven't really touched on it yet so far, but now I kind of want to get into what's the story behind the making of your work in progress LEGO series Dice Quest. Can you tell us a bit about that? Oh God. No, he's leaving. Don't leave.
Okay, so let's. Okay. Damn, this is getting controversial.
I know. Also, if there's any questions you don't want to answer, just let me know.
No, it's funny. This is good. This is good.
All right.
It's good. It's good for press. Okay.
Hell yeah.
The news are gonna be coming to my house now.
Pop
no, yeah. So let's start this off with Dice Quest. Was a card game I made in like 4th grade, technically.
Okay.
Eventually, I built up story. It was going to be a 2D animation. I built up like a minute or two animation for the 2D version of it. And then I was like, well, I like 3D Lego animation again because I wasn't doing it before, but now I figured out how. And I was like, I'll make it in Lego now. So then that was happening for a while. But it was originally I was doing it for my high school class where we got to do stuff. And that made me kind of rush some of it. So I didn't like any of it. So after that, I finished that class. I was like, okay, well, I'll just go over it all and redo it all and do it how I want it. And then I started doing that, and I was like, I've been doing this exact same story for like 4, 5, 6 years straight. I am going crazy. So I got the first 2 minutes done, redid, because I had 7 or 8 minutes before, but I didn't like it at all. But so I redid 2 minutes that are finalized. And I have a few other 1 or 2 minutes are pretty much animated slightly. But I wrote episode 2 and I have storyboards for that. That one I'm really excited, but maybe I'll get to one day. But yeah, so I have a little series. I think it's interesting. I always notice a lot of people find it are very interested in it. I'm like, oh no, what have I done?
It's garnering too much attention.
Yeah, so I mean, if I have time after my school finishes it, there's a chance that Dice Quest will have the same episodes. But
the first one and the second one the
first one
that you started on and the second one that you've written.
Yeah. But I can say there's a Dice Quest coming out this year.
Okay.
There is Dice Quest coming out this year, technically.
But it might not be the same thing, is what you're saying.
It's set in the same universe.
Okay.
It's the same. I mean, Dice Quest is coming out this year.
Universe, then no.
It's not. I mean,
I'm joking.
I mean, it is Dice Quest. That's what it is in my mind. Okay. And if people like this Dice Quest, then I'd continue that. But yeah, I mean,
I see.
It's exciting. It's fun. But yeah, the other episodes of Dice Quest, different plots, because Dice Quest is a whole freaking world and stuff. I have all the lore.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
I don't know. It's interesting because Dice Quest was put on the back burner 1 or 2 years ago, or maybe it's 2 years ago now. Because I was doing Big Dog now, which is my new thing. All right. Because Big Dog has its own crazy lore. It's exciting.
Does it? Oh no.
Yeah. We have a Big Dog 3 that I was working on last year, but film school kind of okay. Wait, let me just go back. Okay, I can explain that later.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah. So Big Dog happened. People liked it. We found it funny. So let's make a second one. And then after this, when we're working on the second one, me and my writer are like, what if we just, a lot of people like this. I like this. This is fun. It's interesting. What if we write a whole freaking like book of lore about it and like so that we can eventually tell and have a whole timeline and everything. And it's really cool. Like I'm not kidding. It's actually really cool lore.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's like actually sick. It's not goofy at all. Like it's actually really freaking sick. So we had episode 3 written a while back now. And like we have it all animatic of it, and we also filmed like some live action. Like we literally got to play with Lego and film it as our job, which is so fun. And for the animatic, because it's easier to do that. So like we have like I animated the first like minute or two already. It's gonna be like 7 minutes or something. But I had basically. This was the first one I was gonna go majorly into the lore. All the other ones had little hints, especially recently. There's something that has hints, but people haven't caught on. But but yeah, and this
guys.
new one, yeah, people got to pay attention. But yeah, then this one that we're making is really what starts showing like this is proper plot. We introduce maybe a new character, and like multiple, maybe a whole new protagonist. I don't know. But you'll see like. If I want to work on it again, like we were working on it before summer, so last year, but at this time, like before, it's like early in the year. And then I started working on the Lego Me animation, and I was like, crap, what have I done? Because I was going to use summer for the Big Dog 3. So basically, now, what I will do for sure after I graduate from my film school is after I have other projects I'm doing right now, but once those are done, I'm gonna finish Big Dog 3 because it's super exciting. And the plans we have for next, we already have episode like 4, like a lot of plans for that. And there's some later episodes like I'm calling them episodes. They're more like because like it's a really flexible story, like not story, but a flexible format we're able to tell it in. That's why it's so good, and that's why I decided to take this on priority rather than Dice Quest, because we can make them 1 minute goofy animations, or we can make them 5 minute story plot driven fully, like with crazy action animations, or it's a random minute with one of the side characters you see that has a certain thing. I was gonna say too much there, but where you can see what their experience was with what happened, right? So there's a whole thing, and it's very flexible, which is perfect for YouTube. Like it's just based off of how YouTube is going and how I'm feeling about my content and what I want to make. It can change based off of how I want it to be, and it can still tell the story. So like it's exciting. Right. People should look forward to it because I really want to finish the whole story because there's a lot, and it's very exciting.
That's so cool.
Is so much fun.
So you just kind of haven't been feeling Dice Quest as much recently, been more drawn to this other project now.
Yeah, like Dice Quest needed a break. It needed a break. I love the world of Dice Quest that I made. I have so much world building in it. There's so much stories I could tell. Like I even like storyboard like a part of the mayor of the town that the Citrine was from in that show. But even though you guys know nothing about it, but the mayor, I storyboarded like a whole like short like a 2-minute thing where it's like his backstory and everything, which I really like that one too. But like I have all these it's so much opportunities for Dice Quest. So like without a doubt there will be more in the future, but for now don't expect the ones that you saw, the work in progress ones that you saw on my channel. Not that episode. Those won't be out soon. But this year, Dice Quest.
Okay. So can I ask, is it going to be like revolving around different characters and just in the same world? Or do you not want to share any of that?
It's in the same world. Let's see. It's in theory. One of the characters, it's in theory the same character, one of them. But you guys haven't seen yet, though. So you guys won't even know.
Cool.
But it's this character you hadn't seen, but it's an evolved version of them, because if I were to make Dice Quest like the one that you guys saw before now, then I'd change their character design and be updated, right?
Right.
Because
that was a while ago that came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a certain scene that would hint at something in the future of Dice Quest that I would have in that first episode, and that's when the character is seen, and then wouldn't be seen for the rest of that episode. So that's what the second episode was going to revolve around, right? So that's why I was like, I really like this character. I made like 2 other stories about him. I made that second episode, and I've made a short film for English class one time, whereas it was slightly animated at the beginning, but it's a little short film. It's cool. It's on my Patreon. No, I'm not trying to advertise, but
go follow
it's not that
Patreon.
good. It's not that good of an animation, but it gives you a little hint. It's kind of bad. It was rushed because it's for school, and it was for like in a week.
I'm
But
sure it's great. Shush.
it's it's very stylized too, but it's still Lego. Anyways, it's just that character I really like, so I've evolved them, and it's the same voice actor that was gonna play the other one that is still voicing this one. So you'll
Cool.
see. It's exciting.
All right. This is like the biggest plot twist ever. This is like the last thing
Yes.
I was expecting.
I've
Dog
been-
being a proper series. This is crazy.
Big Dog proper series and Dice Quest still coming out this year. What?
That's wild.
The
So,
people
okay.
I've been trying to tell the people. They won't believe me.
They won't.
I'll drop
Like,
a
it's just the
poster.
voices.
I'll drop
Oh,
a poster
man.
soon, probably next month. So,
Ooh,
you know.
that'll be awesome. All right, so can I ask, what's the vibe of Big Dog, like this new kind of direction you're going in going to be? Because the vibe that I got originally from it was like kind of silly horror, but you said it's like a kind of epic lore and stuff. So I'm curious, is it gonna still have that kind of horror vibe, or like what's?
Okay, yeah. So let's how to say this. So yeah, he's right before silly horror, but it's gonna be more mystery horror, and then I don't want to say that.
Don't worry if you don't want to say anything.
Is
It's
there
good.
like I gotta see? Is there a word that he's? Okay, that's just straight up the word. I can't just say that. Okay. I just like searched it up and I'm like, oh, that was the exact same word, like 3 letters added. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I'd say there's mystery horror. So maybe a bit detective stuff. I don't know. Let's see.
Ooh, okay.
And also this is not really like the feeling of it, but like there's something there's gonna be some episodes from the past.
Ooh,
Far in
okay.
the past. Okay, there I can say
Whoa.
that. That's
Okay.
centered around that. So yeah, that's why I can say that. But it's very exciting and it can get dark at parts, but it's fun. You know?
Nice. I'm super interested, dude. I can't wait
Yeah.
to see what you're cooking up.
Thank you.
It's gonna be crazy. Big Dog is so strangely terrifying to me. It's hilarious. It's like I don't know if you've ever had these, but like I think some people have, so maybe someone can relate. But sometimes like I've had dreams of something like coming towards me that's like a PNG thing making a noise, and it's like or there's like something that's inanimate just moving like that, and for some reason it activates the most primal fear in me I've ever felt. And like whenever I see that, I'm like, that is like the exact same thing. It's crazy.
I'm glad I've done that. Oh my.
And it just reminds me of that. It's so funny.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's good.
I don't know.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, if anybody else can relate to that thing of like inanimate planes coming towards you being terrifying, let me know. Because there was like a video I saw like on Instagram at some point that was one of those like shit post things of just like PNGs chasing someone and you're in like their point of view making noise, and for some reason it's terrifying and I don't know why.
Oh my.
So you mentioned you have like a team for your animations. Can I ask like who that team consists of like what roles and all that, and what it's kind of like working with the team to get to get your animations done?
Yeah, right now it's not much of a big team in terms of the actual animation part. I touch all the animation stuff, but right now let's see. So I have my main writer, who wrote Big Dog. He's writing the rest of the Big Dog series and all that.
Yeah.
He also has there's other videos we've also written that I want to do. I have all that like assets I made, but I haven't had time to animate it. But there's some fun ones. So he writes a lot of those like minute long funny videos, at least apart from the Big Dog ones that will come out. So those are good. What else is there? So we also have Digital Luke. I'm counting on the team. I remember for the longest time, he's like, please make me officially on the team. I'll give it to him because he helps out. He adds in the weirdness to some bits, right? Like I said earlier, Escalator of Citrines, the totally not tragedy reference at the end of my story too short. He just adds the weirdest things, but it makes it more fun, and people can be like, oh, it's a reference to a terrible thing, or it's like, what the heck was that? So I appreciate him for that, and he's a good like person to talk with, and very like motivates me a lot. Yeah. Recently I've been building all of the sets mostly, but like I've had some help from Planty. A lot. He helps a lot of people.
Yeah.
Digital Luke is helping with something recently too. Okay, yeah. For my music guy, the goat. I almost called him by Gerald. That's not even any of his names anywhere. We just call him that as a joke on our team because one day he's like, "I'm changing my username." I'm like, "Okay, Gerald." Okay, but yeah, he used to be called Flapjack 380. I made a video on my second channel called "He Died," which is kind of. Yeah. And then now his username's changed, so it looks like he actually died. But because now it's Weahoo, which is in Weahoo, I believe it's pronounced. So so talented. My like music guy. If it wasn't for him, my videos would be like a mess. Like they'd seem like what the hell's going on. But he makes it beautiful. The sound design, I love him. And yeah,
Yeah.
apart from that, I just have a bunch of voice actors. And like there's only one time I've had someone help on animation on a video, and that was me fighting the 14-year-old. And
Right.
it was I think his name is Miko. He's not in the team, but like he's helped out for that video and did some of the background Citrines in one of the shots. So yeah.
Wait, did
Yeah.
Preston not animate anything on that or no?
No, but
Oh, I thought he did.
I don't know. I shouldn't speak on his behalf, but he might have his own video.
Oh,
Soon.
okay, cool.
You know, he may
Sounds
be a year
good.
late because if you saw the title, the end card on my video, he maybe has a year late memory, delay. But I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see. Nice.
Yeah, it's
All right,
exciting.
that's cool. And let's see. All right, so I'm gonna ask some of the viewer submitted questions now.
Ooh,
I'd say,
okay.
and then we'll go back to some of the normal ones.
Yeah.
Let's see. So a few of the ones that were asked here have kind of already been answered. We got one from. Wish me luck. I have to pronounce usernames now.
Yes.
We got one from. Okay, I'm so sorry if I butcher this. The picture's on screen, so if I said it wrong, you can at least read it there. From Gail So from Gail
How's it spelled? What the heck?
It's like
It can't be that hard.
no, it's like G.
You gotta show me.
Yeah, look, it's flipping. Hold on.
Wait.
plugged in. Well, I mean, have my iPad here because it's just a bigger screen,
Oh.
but like flipping.
Gail Maldonados. Okay, boom. Or is it Gail Maldonado? I don't know.
Yeah,
Interesting
it's-
username.
okay,
Very
so
iconic.
From I'm just gonna go with Gail Maldonado.
Yeah.
Asks. So they actually just say you're very good at what you do, and I love seeing your animations. So a little
That's
compliment
sweet.
there.
What the heck?
And then some of the others that were kind of like asked that we already kind of answered, but I just want to say their names because they submitted questions anyways. We got one from Blunder Animator who asks, "How did you start animation, and what was your inspiration starting early on?" Already answered that earlier, but thank you for the question. We got one from A7med_3D who asks, "Do you have an actual date for the show, Dice Quest?"
God damn it! And that specific show that was seen before, no. But for a Dice Quest centered thing, yeah. Later this year. So,
Nice. Exactly.
yeah, that counts in my mind.
All right, and we kind of covered this one earlier too, which is again from Blunder Animator, who asks, "What do you think about Lego stop motion, and how they compare to digital animation?" We kind of talked about that earlier, but it's pretty much like they're different enough, which is good. Let's see. So we got one from DB Films Lego, who asks, "What is the plans for the next Mecha Face update?"
God damn it! No kidding. This is a classic. All right, let me just give everyone context. So Mecha Face, my 2D face thing for the 2D face rig, which is a way you can control things in 3D. So basically, you can animate faces on Lego figures with my thing I created. And I have a new update 2.0 that I've been working on. I used on the When You're Too Short video. Which adds it's because the last main version was when I first released it when I was almost 14, 14, 15, I don't know.
Oh wow! I was gonna say that's why they were so expressive in the latest video. I was like,
yeah.
damn, he's
So
really pushing the
basically,
limits of
I've
that.
recreated the entire thing from scratch. I started it all from nothing. With a brand new there's so many more controls, so many new features, so many. It's just so many just exciting things that everyone's been wanting for ages, and just makes it so much easier. I've been working with Lego Me and other talented animators who want certain features that would save time. So I was saying it was gonna come out a few weeks ago, which is obviously didn't happen.
Hey, you're at film school. It's all right.
Yeah, that's what I tell people. I swear I'm busy, but I will be needing it for a project I cannot discuss. In the next month or two, I'll be needing it. So that means I will be getting it in a final version of it, and that's when I would release it. But right when I get animating on this project that I can't talk about. But
okay.
yeah, so it will be soon. This project is not gonna go to next year, at least for the pre-production first. So don't worry about it. It will be this year, obviously. It won't. I don't think it'll take that long. I think it could be in a month, because I have a few little things I want to adjust. But yeah, it is funny though, because recently since I always talk with Digital Luke recently, and Lego Me is always asking about the new update. So we randomly, he's like, I mentioned something. He's like, I need to see it. Okay, we're like, okay, join VC, and then we make him join the mod VC. I'd bring Luke in there, and we just mess with him.
Oh, that's so mean.
It's it's not me because he usually is like, guys, my audio's off, and then it's not actually. He just doesn't because he's like, maybe they will believe me, but no. So like we just like. It's like I slightly show him it, and I'm like, okay, look, these new, like, you can switch the teeth like shape and all that. You can do all this stuff. You can add a beard, blah blah blah, right? And and then he's sending screenshots to the Blind Brick server. I'm like, no, you're creating a riot. What are you doing? So then I just ask him the most, So to distract him, I ask him the most out of pocket questions about certain things in his past, like from his old YouTube channel. Yeah, it's just really funny. Like, those calls are so funny because he's just like he's like, guys, it's crazy, and everyone else is like, let me in the VC, please, and he's like, sorry guys, and I'm like, oh my god, this is a whole stir. I'm not saving myself because the whole community, it's just been like every day people are asking about it. I'm like, guys, please, I've been film school. I'm already stressed enough.
Give me a second, please. I'm a student.
But yeah, I mean, I understand. If I wasn't the creator McFace, I'd understand because it's a really exciting update that makes life so much easier.
Sounds it.
Although I can answer the question like when it's coming out, kind of, right? Right now I'm on the last stage, I'd say, where I'm doing the poses that it comes with because I don't want to, like the last one, I've seen them enough, all those poses, and I'm not going to chew the same ones. I'm doing different ones. So I'm going to try to provide a good amount of them that gives good variation and shows good use of the new features. So that will take a bit, and then I'm probably going to add in a few more things I forgot. But then after that should be good to go. But like, yeah, we're literally on like basically last stage, so it's good. It's good.
That's exciting. Yeah. Good to know. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
Let's see. So we got one from Harry 22323 who asks, how do you come up with build ideas like the buff man?
Okay, that one, I didn't make that build. That's Hirochu, I believe his name was, on YouTube. You know that one Lego guy who makes like Lego builds? I can't even say that. I forgot to credit him. Okay, I'm going to do that. I was going to. I remember I thought about it, and then I forgot. Dare you? But, I mean, I used his Lego build. That's enough credit. No, I'm sorry to him. But, I mean, I didn't come up with that Lego build. I mean, that question can also be, how did I come up with the idea to even do that too, right? Because the idea was...
You went through that one, yeah.
Yeah, because like that video I was over, like the idea for that, I was like, okay, if I'm making an animation outside film school, it has to be a reason why it's Lego. I'm not just going to do one in Lego for no reason right now because I'm in film school doing the ones that aren't Lego. Like, I need a reason to do this. So that's why I was like, okay, let's do a classic. Let's go to master building, like how you can literally take off your head, replace it with another. Are you the same person? I don't know. I don't want to figure that out. I tried to figure it out. I still don't know.
That video left me with so many questions.
Yeah, I was trying to figure it out myself with some of my team, and we're like, I don't freaking know. We're like, we're cutting this guy out of the lore. I mean, because like, oh yeah, I should also mention, I'll mention that later. But no, yeah. So I mean, that one, I think, yeah, that one's just because I thought it was funny. It would be ridiculous because you're too short, and it's like, okay, let's just completely change. You're not even a minifigure anymore, basically. Yeah. So that one was funny. But like other things, like with other crazy builds, like I mean, I made the blue dog, that's what I call the one at the water park statue. That one was fun. That one you can build in real life, except for like one piece that's like floating. But that one's fun. Took me a while to get to look right. That one was good. But like, yeah, I don't know. I think it's more the crazy ideas would be more accurate if they're asking about that. Like big dog. That one. It's just out of stupid inside jokes mostly. But yeah, it's complicated.
Yeah, that's fair. They all come from all sorts of places, basically, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Take anything I can. That's funny.
Nice. So we got a question from Higgold Animation Studios, who asks, can you make a tutorial for Mechalizer?
There is some. There is. I want to update it so bad because I don't like it anymore. I have like a whole feature where you can like, instead of importing MechaBricks parts as you need to with it right now, because you're not allowed to use MechaBrick parts like you redistribute them, even though I'm selling it on the website, whatever. Anyways, I have like a whole thing I've created of geometry nodes where you can make almost like a lot of the Lego pieces you'd want. So you can make like any brick, any plate, it has the right configurations at the bottom, even make it into slopes or angled pieces, like it does that automatically. It's like I call it like a part builder. So that's what I will implement once I have time. So basically it literally have a bunch of presets and you could just add parts like, and just really easily. But yeah, so it's yeah, there are tutorials. If you go to documentation, there's a link in there, and if that's not enough, there's some if you join Blender Bricks and you show like proof that you have the add-on, we can give you a role, and there's some more tutorials in there linked in there.
Nice.
Or check the forum. But yeah, I apologize because that add-on is meant for more advanced Blender users. Some people don't realize that, but like I try to make it clear, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's in the future it'll be simpler.
Nice. Also, I realized I forgot to mention, for anyone who doesn't know, Mechalizer is another add-on that Citrine made that basically takes 3D models and translates them into brick-built stuff. So you can use them for kind of bigger structures that are kind of harder to make by hand, like mountains, things like that, background stuff.
And yeah, uses slopes and angled pieces and any piece you want, really. But yeah.
Nice.
So, and it does it places them with the reason.
Yeah, like how you, in a way that looks feasible, like could be built, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so we also got a question from Sapphire Records, who asks, on average, how long would a 1 minute animation take you to make a month?
Yeah, it's a month. But like again, don't forget that month is outside of like what would be either what a job would take up in terms of time or school, right?
Yeah.
That's how it is. Like that's like because I never really have it all free time like to do it. Like if I had a whole month free to make my stuff, then I don't know.
What would you do? Huh?
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel that. And finally, we got one from Circuit Speeder, who asks fave animation. Now, they don't specify of yours or someone else's, so let's do both. Favorite of yours and favorite of someone else's.
Ooh. Crap.
Put on the hot seat.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, first I'm going to answer my own, because that's easier, probably. Oh, crap, that's even harder. Never mind. I mean, I like them all. It's weird because if I haven't seen since it's if it's been a while since I've like released an animation, I kind of forget that I made it. It's a bit of like disconnecting myself from my content, but it's fine. But like so, I mean, oh crap, man, there's so many. I love Big Dog 1. I love the Big Dog 2. Like I just love them all because I just find them funny. But like, I really do like the one where I fought Lego Me because that one has some fun animation. But I do also like my latest one when you're too short because that one has the most stupidest thing. It's like so stupid, but it has like I really like the the visual style on it. And
it's very expressive. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
I see why.
Yeah, I love that one. Yeah, and then other people animations.
Yeah.
So it has to be. Does it have to be like a YouTube animation or like a movie? Doesn't count.
Yeah, I feel like an animation like by another individual or small group. So. Yeah, anything like that. Let's say either Lego or non-Lego, just because you do more than just Lego as well.
Crap. Oh, wait, I can just think of Krugston. Wait, let me go. I'm just going to this channel. Krugston is definitely what I'll friggin' decide. Okay, I just got to decide one of them.
I realized this the other day, but I feel like some Lego YouTube stuff, not like Lego Blender animation stuff, kind of like crosses between like 3D Tuber and the Lego stuff. It's like a kind of
true.
In the middle kind of thing.
That's kind of how I am right now. I have like my guy on some videos. Okay, wait. Oh, but I like all his videos. God. I do. This latest one's cool, but I also like. They're just all. Oh my gosh, this is difficult. Wait. I'm almost here. Man. Okay, that's the one where he has a bomb. Where's the one where he clones himself? That one's my favorite, probably. Without
context, these are sounding so unhinged.
Because they are, and that's the good part. Okay, wait, which I gotta find which. Oh, but I also like the teapot one. Okay, I'll do I'll do the one where he clones himself, and he's like clones, and then they're basically. I swear he's removed some of his videos, but I don't think he removed this one. I need to see it. I want to watch it. Wherever the fuck his video is, where he has a bunch of himself, like clones. I don't know where he put it.
I feel like I've seen that one as well. Like, that rings a bell. That definitely rings a bell.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't find it. Oh, some are unlisted. I just found some unlisted ones. What the frick, bro?
The Krugston video gold mine.
I'm going to message him later today. But since that one isn't, I can't find it, I choose the one where he gets teacups, because that one inspired my Rinchu short one. It's pretty good. It's called I Messed Up by Krugston. And basically, he talks about his teacups that he collection, and he lives in an apartment where he shows where he got them. And then he gets mad at there's like a really loud party next door, and he's like, you can't have that today. My teacups are gonna shatter. And then they're like, actually, my parents are here and they're not doing well, and it's just like some deep stuff. And then he comes back later, and it's actually a party. And then they're like, dude, it's actually Party Tuesday. You can do whatever the fuck you want, Party Tuesday. And he's like, no, it's not. And then they just beat him. He gets beaten up and like almost dies, and it's just so dark for no reason. But it's very cool stylistic wise, and it's just such a goofy premise, but it's so good. Like, it's genius. Like, I love his humor. But that's 2 years ago. But his latest ones, one of his latest ones, I think, literally his latest one's also really funny. But yeah, all of his videos are good, but that one's probably my favorite. I'd say that is on his channel.
Exactly, it's still there. Nice.
Gosh darn it! Like, I noticed this like a few months ago too. Like, there was some missing. I was so angry.
Really? Damn.
I was like, am I crazy? I swear it was real.
I hate it when that happens, when you like can't find that video.
I'm gonna unlist all my videos actually now.
No!
We don't need them. I don't need more views. It's fine. I'll unlist the Dice Quest ones.
No.
Save myself. They were never real.
They never existed. Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know, so you already talked about kind of the state of Dice Quest right now, but for people who are still interested in it, what is Dice Quest about?
Okay, let's see. Well, I'm going to describe the world of Dice Quest. So,
yeah.
Dice Quest is an original world, story world, whatever you can do with whatever that I created. I can't explain too much of it, but it has, there's a bunch of creatures, these cool creatures, and it's very interesting. There's so many different places in it, and all these interesting people that it's just like, I don't know how to explain it so well because it's so complicated. Okay,
does it fit into any kind of like genre of some sort?
I'm not good at genreing things. I mean, it's not fantasy because it's not the classic fantasy things. You know what I mean? But like, it's not real.
Yeah, it's like it's in its own made-up world. Yeah,
but like, it's just some fun. Yeah, it's some fun. It's a fun world with a bunch of creatures and like in crazy like towns and like just all these things you never expect. And I don't know how to explain it. It's been a while.
It's kind of like an amalgamation really cool of a lot of things you enjoy in that case.
Yeah, a lot, definitely. Like in Steven Universe. Let's see what else. Like, there's some things like, I'd say a little bit of Phineas and Ferb somehow.
Interesting.
Because Gravity Falls, Owl House especially. But like all this stuff, especially Owl House is a good way to describe it.
Okay.
In some terms,
but not in like the magic-y sense, because you said it's not as fantasy, right?
Not as much magic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But there's other things.
Nice.
There's some things that are magical, but they're not meant to be there.
Ooh.
So yeah, there's some cool things. I try to avoid telling people too much because sometimes the main entire concept of what Dice Quest is and like how the whole world works in it is something I kind of want to be a part of the plot too. Because it's really interesting to have it like subtly revealed. But like it has this, there's a whole thing about why there's all these creatures and why they sometimes feel so different at certain places, and
nice.
It's exciting. Like, there's like a lot of cool stuff in it, but yeah.
Sounds it. I like the fact that like it seems like something that's hard to describe without giving away story stuff is kind of cool to me because it like it shows that like this is a really interesting story that's going on here. Yeah. So
it's all connected, right? Yeah. So
yeah,
I'm
looking forward to seeing whatever is coming out to do with it this year.
Yes. I'll make sure to have Easter eggs on what Dice Quest actually is in the background of it to show more. I won't forget about that part.
Nice. Can I ask kind of how you went about when you like started kind of with the idea of creating Dice Quest as a show, kind of how you started out approaching making it? Because did you have people helping you out with any aspects of it then, or was it solely you?
Yeah, so when I first created it, when I was doing 2D animation, it was all me and like some friends from like school back then, but gave like a little bit of help, but not really. Because like I created it around my character Citrine, and that's where I evolved everything from. Mm-hmm. So like I went off of that. I figured out how he became to be, the past, the future, relative, everything, friends, everything about their plot. Right, I figured out all that and made the world building work all around this. Right, yeah. So. But when I tried to make it to LEGO, I had some people actually help out. Like, I had a whole team for that, like an actual team. Maybe not for animation, but for a lot of people for everything else. So, like, I had people help with the writing and set building, a lot of people for that. So, like, I have the whole town that would be in the first episode built. Like, it's giant. It's crazy. But, like, it's... Yeah, I had some people help with the writing back then. because I didn't know I was doing as much because I was younger. But
Right.
if I were to make another one like the original ones were based in, like the plot that was going to be doing in the original one, I would definitely go over the scripts again myself, because I remember when I was trying to redo it after I finished like the one I submitted for my high school thing. I was already like wanting to re-storyboard it all and re-script it because I didn't like it. But
Yeah, that's
I
good.
don't
It
know.
showed you improved quickly.
Yeah.
Right? You could notice the flaws in your own work and what you didn't like
Yeah.
and kind of go back on it.
But so it's definitely it's something that takes a lot of inspiration from a lot of things I like. So, and building that into it, and I don't know, I enjoy it. Like,
Cool.
yes, of course, Steven Universe has a good amount to do with it, at least for the original series. Like Citrine has something to do with like the Steven Universe stuff a bit.
Nice.
Which is cool.
I like that. And I was gonna say, have you like been keeping up at all with like the indie animation space with like the Amazing Digital Circus and all these kinds of shows coming out, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So I was gonna ask, is the goal with like what you're doing, so like either Dice Quest in the future or Big Dog right now, is the goal to kind of do something to that scale, or what's kind of the end goal, or I guess future goal I should say, with what you're doing with your own projects right now?
Yeah, I'd say definitely Dice Quest would be something that end up most likely becoming like one of those indie series online. Like it'd be perfect for it. That was the whole like concept of it before. Most indie series were like really like a big thing on the internet. Like because I watched like Ed's World also like was something I wanted to do something similar to that before I was doing Dice Quest, but then I wanted more plot stuff in it. But yeah, like Big Dog is definitely not going to be one of those. Like it's going to be a series, but like not like an episodic, not like a classic like that. It's going to be more flexible. But yeah, definitely Dice Quest. That would be so cool if I could evolve it into be an actual indie series like that. That'd be like a dream.
Nice.
I'd love that. So yeah,
I'm
I
sure
love
you can do it, man. The concept seems like from just the little bits I know, it already seems very unique. So I'm sure you can do it.
Thank you.
Of course. Let's see. Also, what's the origins of Citrine's name? Like, where does that come from? I'm curious.
Okay, so I like the color orange. Obviously, for my character. You're stealing my character's outfit.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
He's cosplaying as me in the interview. It's crazy.
I am. I'm wearing like an orange hoodie right now. I'm cosplaying as Citrine.
It's basically me. But yeah, so I liked Steven Universe at the time a lot, and I wanted my username used to be Dice Quest TCG because I was doing a card game, and I just like, okay, I'll name it that. And then I was like, oh wait, I want to be identified a bit more as like a person, not just a project. So then I was like, okay, I'll find one. I like Steven Universe. I like the color orange. And I search up gemstones that are orange and like citrine because that reminded me of like citron, which is lemon in French. So I liked it. So citrine isn't normally pronounced like that, but since I'm French, a bit French, right? So like I'm like, okay, I like it pronounced like that. So
I see. You said you're a bit French?
Yeah, I'm like half French Canadian. Like I'm Canadian. And I'm half Quebecois, but so half French. It's just like sure, not French, but
Yeah.
Still if you go far, French. Still French. So
nice.
Yeah. So I got the name, and the character evolved from like some old Minecraft skins.
I love that. Yeah, no, okay, that makes sense. Because when I heard the name, I was like, the thing that comes to mind is citrus. I wonder if that has any.
Yeah. It's
any
also,
and then with the French word for lemon, that makes sense. But yeah, that's cool. I like it. I was gonna say as well, do you speak like French fluently, or do you just speak words a bit?
I speak fluently in theory. I'm not as good as I used to be, but I'm okay. I'm so good, but not as good as I used to be because I went to a full French school for a while.
Oh, wow.
So I was really good, and like then I went to a French immersion in the high school and that's just so different. It's nothing alike. Like the French that like people speak there, I'm like, oh boy, this is not that good. But like, yeah, I still can speak it fluently. It's just not as French. Like not as like if people like if I went to like Quebec during when I went to my full French school, people would believe me that I'm from Quebec or something like that because that's how it was. But now they'd be like, able to tell a little more. But I speak fluently. So I think of dubbing my channel sometimes.
I was just gonna say, so are we gonna get like the French dubs for your animations now, or what?
C'est gros chien, which means oh my god, it's Big Dog. Oh Lord,
I love that. All right, the Big Dog French dub coming soon.
Yes.
All right, let's see.
I just do like a crazy Quebec accent on it. It's like, oh my, c'est quoi ça là, oh mon Dieu.
I love that. All right, so you've created quite a few add-ons for Blender. So for anyone who doesn't know, what are add-ons and what's the process of creating them like?
Yes, so add-ons are tools that you can make for 3D programs that help people do things, right? So I've created a few. I've created like two of them I have on the Mechabricks shop called so there's MechaFace, 2D face rig for Lego figures, and then Mechalizer, which is 3D models to Lego bricks and stuff. I also have Epic Fig Rig, which I helped make. That's a Lego minifigure rig that was made after my initial rig that was before that. It was like a simpler rig everyone used, but then we made it to an add-on. And then also I made like a time savers add-on, which made it so people can, if they let the computer in between it, they can put it on twos, right? So I make all these tools.
And I basically,
yeah. I don't recommend it because I don't like when people let the computer do things. So
okay.
I'm like, no, I do it all by hand. How dare you? But no, I mean, you could still, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of learned Python and all that. That's what you need to do to code it. Like I've been learning on my own and all that. And yeah. And
Nice.
I just have a passion for anything with computers. So I can't learn how to code. And I was like, I want to make this. So I made it.
That's
Yeah,
helpful.
that's
That's super impressive because, like, at least to me, like, the add-ons you've made are pretty professional. So, like, it's
Oh,
amazing
boy.
that you've been able
Yeah.
to do that. Because I love animation and all that. I'm an aspiring professional animator. But, like, dude, I cannot do code for the life
It's
of me. I
okay. You
look
don't
at
have to
that
be an
and I'm like,
animator
nah.
for that. That's
Yeah,
more
I
rigging.
know.
You're
Yeah,
good.
still though, like in my mind, I'm like, oh, it'd be fun to make a game, but I'd be like, I can only do the art part of that because I am.
I've made some games. It's fun.
I'm
I've never
not
fully
touching
completed
code.
them, but yeah.
Ooh, that's
I've always,
cool.
Yeah, like I've been working on one with my friend recently. It's fun. It's cool. I've been doing pixel art for that one.
Nice. Oh,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I've always done little coding for games. It's fun.
That's very impressive because I look at that and think you put like a slash the wrong way and it's all messed up.
No, yeah.
All right, let's see. So I think finally I'm just gonna ask a few like the specifically TFOL related questions and then
Yeah.
we'll wrap up. Does that sound good?
Sounds good, yeah.
Nice. So do you have any in-person friends who are also TFOLs?
No.
No.
No, it's sad. Like it's funny because people like try to bully me for having Lego, like, bully me, like, make fun of it. I'm like, bro, you also have Lego. You can't say that. Like,
Yeah.
it's super funny.
Are we talking like friend bullying or like proper?
yeah,
trying to
yeah,
make
they're
fun
just
of
like
you?
silly, they're trying to
Yeah,
they're trying to find something to poke at me at. I'm like, dude, we all like Lego. I just happen to like it a little more.
Exactly.
But like, so like, I've never really had anyone I known that actually is that big into Lego, apart from myself. Like, really, like, I mean, I've gone to like a convention recently, and like there was a Lego like club of people, or whatever. Like, I don't know what they're called anymore. But
Lug?
yeah, it's a rug.
No, lug.
I know, but rug. But it sounds like rug. It's silly. Okay, anyways.
A Lego rug.
Yeah, they that would hurt. Oh god. No, yeah. So they had a little setup there. I'm like, wow. If I were to like make friends with these people, they're way too old. I'm like, I don't know if I get along. Like, they're just like really old like older people that like Lego. I'm like, okay, well. So like, I don't know. The only really people I get to talk to that actually like Lego is just online. But yeah.
I think it's the case for most of us.
I wish one day.
You should come to a convention, man. Come to Brick World. It's epic.
Yeah, I was
Just
thinking
went there
about it. I
for the
saw
first
all
time.
that. I saw like this VidCon going on. There's Brick World. I'm like, shit, I need to go to something like next year. I don't know.
For sure.
Once I'm free from film school.
Yeah, if you're gonna go to a Lego convention, Brick World is the one to go to. It is
Okay.
the biggest, the best. I met Brotherhood Workshop there and like a bunch of
Oh,
other people.
sick.
It's
All
really
right,
cool.
nice.
But yeah.
That's cool.
So, what has it been like being a TFOL for you? Do you or have you faced any, I guess, like proper judgment, like not the teasy stuff, but like proper judgment from people because you're into Lego or anything like that, or what's the experience been like for you?
Yeah, no, it's been good. I have like I do, of course, mostly digital stuff, but I do have a good amount of Lego at home.
Yeah.
Like, but not where I'm at right now because I'm not at home because school. Yeah. I mean, I did buy a lot of Lego. There's like, I have like that Ninjago like dragon island mountain thing. How do I describe it? But yeah, the one with the waterfall.
Oh, the new one. Yeah.
Yeah, I got that one right here because I'm like, I need that. It looks cool. So, it's a bit of obsessive. But yeah, I mean, I think it's fine. Since I'm going to a film school right now, especially right now, there's like no reason for anyone to judge me because I'm like, bro, we're all nerds.
Yeah.
Like, there's this one guy who like isn't into Lego as much, but he just has a bunch of Lego. Like, he doesn't really do much with Lego apart from just building the sets and
He
just
just
having
enjoys
them,
it, yeah.
which is cool. That's good too. But like, there's a difference. But like, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, for me right now, it's fine. But like in high school, I didn't get bullied. It's just like, I don't know. It was fine. I think I enjoy it. people don't really care, which is that's
Yeah.
all that matters. Like I can do what I want, and I enjoy that.
So, if LEGO were to start focusing more on teens, like they have with the whole Adults Welcome campaign, what do
Yeah.
you think they could do for teens, like for TFOLs?
Like in terms of sets or like anything.
Yeah, like sets, like a line, stuff like that. Just generally, like there's the whole Adults Welcome campaign, which is kind of multiple things. It's like I think like ads, it's the set lines, obviously the 18
Yeah.
plus stuff, all that. So something for TFOLs. What do you think that could look like, or what do you think it should look like?
It's interesting. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the adult ones are pretty good. It's just that they're going off of nostalgia that a lot of teens don't get, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think if they could go to like IPs that aren't that old to, what adults would think, but for us, like, do a Phineas and Ferb say, like that's crazy.
Yeah,
Bro, like there's
Avatar: The
there's
Last
so many.
Airbender.
Yeah, bring that back, please. Those other sets, we don't talk about them.
Yeah, no, they don't exist.
Yeah. Oof, oh gosh. But like, I think definitely just getting IPs, even though these shows aren't a thing anymore, just why not make a set or two? Like, I know that they're like, oh, it's too soon, and you guys aren't old enough to have too much nostalgia. But like, to be real, we do with how much things change with the internet, and like things are constantly changing in the world, like a lot, because we see it all on the internet. So now it's a lot for people to take in, right? So
Yeah.
it feels like it's been a while. So like literally like Gravity Falls, like Lego Ideas has all these things, but they just don't accept them because they're like, I feel like probably the people who Lego Ideas accepting things don't understand that, and they're just thinking about the market for like older people, like way older,
Yeah.
compared to teenagers. So like they should definitely just risk it on like things like that,
Yeah, for
It's just,
sure.
yeah, they're too
I agree what
afraid.
you said there with like risk it on things like that, because I have heard that, and not just in Lego's case, but a lot of the times when it comes to companies, they kind of skip out on teens a lot because it's like a hard, quote unquote, hard market to market to, because it's such a, I guess, like transitional point. But I don't know. I think some have done it very well, and I think it's
Yeah.
once again, if you can get that market, then you got all the main three, and like that's a very
Yeah.
important one there. They're the ones that, I think are at the forefront of a lot of pop culture and all that. So
Yeah, for
I think taking the risk is important, and I think that's what, like I like that you said that, because I think that's what made Lego so special in like the early 2000s. They needed to take risks.
Bionicle. That was a
Bionicle,
teen thing,
exactly.
bro. Like,
that was,
that was-
dude. Looking back, that was such a strange thing they came up with, but it
That's
worked.
true.
They
It
took the
works.
risk. I feel like they need to do that again more. So I
For
like that you
me,
said that.
like I wasn't there for Bionicle, right? But for me, I just had Hero Factory, but that wasn't as older kid stuff. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Right.
that wasn't,
Like
but
Bionicle
still.
definitely felt like it was more for teens for when that came out, but like for Hero Factory felt a bit for younger kids, like
Yeah,
not
for
teens,
sure.
Yeah, and that's how it was for me at least. So.
No, I agree. Dude, Hero Factory was my thing. I loved
Yeah,
that
same. I loved
so
it.
much.
And then people are always like, "But oh, really? Well, bro, that's you think that it's Bionicle, but it ain't nothing like it." I'm like, okay, because I know. I'm not talking about Bionicle. Please let me
Exactly.
have my Hero Factory. That's
I like
what
my
grew up with.
manufactured heroes, bro.
Yes. Oh my, yeah, those are classic.
No, I feel you. I kind of wish I could have like grown up with Bionicle, but I was born 2005, so like halfway through its lifespan.
Yeah, 2005. Let's go.
Yeah.
Nice, but no, yeah, it's interesting because now kids are like growing up today don't even have any of those type of sets. Like because if they do those type of sets, they just have the ugly human heads on them. So like they need to, like
Yeah.
either they probably won't reboot Bionicle ever again because they did that and they're like no more. But the only thing that I'd see them rebooting is Hero Factory because they're like they haven't rebooted that. So like I mean,
Ooh. I've never heard someone say they might reboot Hero Factory. That's a new take.
they rebooted Bionicle and they stopped that and they're like maybe Hero Factory. You never know.
Yeah, maybe. That would be. I'd welcome that with open
That'd
arms.
be really
man.
cool. Yeah.
I'd love that. I mean, I've heard rumors of Bionicle coming back in 2025. It's been going around. We'll see if they're real
okay.
or not. But we've been getting a lot of nostalgia stuff with it, so we'll see.
That's true.
But,
Yeah, those stickers and sets. Yeah.
So, as a TFOL, how do you think a good way of stopping other TFOLs from like going into a dark age would be?
What do you mean by that?
But like, do you know what a dark age is?
No, not
Oh,
sure.
okay, I didn't realize.
Maybe I
okay.
do. I just don't know
Yeah.
the words.
Well, a dark age is like what the community tends to use for like when like somebody gets out of Lego and isn't interested in it anymore, and then like they either come back to it or they don't. So like when they have their phase of like going through a teenager and being like, oh, Lego isn't
Okay,
cool
yeah.
anymore, and they get out of it. So do you if you feel like there is a way, what do you think would be a good way of kind of stopping that from happening?
Oh gosh. I mean, like the thing is, taking a break is kind of what is in a way, right? But that's like to an extreme.
Okay.
But like I don't know, taking breaks is usually helpful. I mean, don't center it around everything.
Yeah.
Like that's why when I was doing only 3D Lego animations during like high school, I still did other animation stuff just to have fun and do other things, not to get my mind all like, it's just Lego, right? I did all those. It's just fun to do and get my mind off of Lego sometimes, you know? I think, yeah, it's like, that's from my understanding, that's what I'd say, because that's how Lego is involved in my life, is mostly just in digital like animations. So that's what I could say about it, really, because when it comes to real life Lego stuff, I'm like, I sometimes randomly just like engineer stuff with it. Apart from that, I don't do much with it because I just
fair.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, just take breaks.
I think that's good. Like, because you're right, it doesn't have to be the biggest thing in your life either. Like, it doesn't have to consume your entire existence. And taking breaks is important with stuff you enjoy as well to kind of keep the passion there. So
yeah, exactly.
And I think it also gives you like good insight as well. Because if like you're a teen and you're thinking, oh, Lego isn't cool, whatever, other people are giving you shit about it. Taking that step away, not because they're giving you shit about it, but just if you're not feeling it as much, can sometimes give good perspective to like, oh no, this is something I enjoy, or maybe you don't afterwards, and that's fine if you genuinely don't. But it's good to have a good balance of things and not force yourself to stay in something if you're not feeling it at the moment. Like we've said before on the podcast, Lego is not a cult. You don't have to stay if you don't want to. But anyways, yeah. All right. Let's see. So I got one last question and then the final closing one of the podcast. Whoa. So if there is anything, do you think there's something you'd like to see kind of change in the teen space in the Lego community, if anything? Or like something happen, change, anything of that sort, really? Like an evolution of some sort?
I don't know. I mean, I do know that, like, at least for me, when I was like actually like fully like teen, like in high school, especially high school, I wouldn't express that much about that part of myself. So I'd love to see people express it more. But I know it's because you're teen. You're like, oh, these people think I'm not cool, right? But like, it would be nice to see people be more open about it. But like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. But like, yeah. I mean, apart from that, I don't know. It's just people. Yeah, they don't be afraid. Just go with it.
Exactly. I like that for sure, and I agree, because that's one of the things that I kind of struggled with when I first joined the online community at like 15. I was like, where are all the other teenagers? They're kind of like everywhere. So yeah, I mean, that's why I created this podcast in the first place, and like that's one of the big focuses of my channel, so people can see cool teens like you doing awesome stuff and be like, hey, it is cool. I can like it.
Yeah. It's fun.
All right. So the final question of the podcast, and you can take a minute to think about this because it's a bit of a bigger question.
Oh, gosh.
But do you have any advice for fellow TFOLs?
So overall? Oh.
Yeah, generally, yeah.
Okay.
Take a minute to think if you need. It's all good. I'll chop it out.
15 minutes. Okay. Because my mind still thinks about 3D Lego animators.
Well, no, that's fine.
I mean,
like,
counts,
it can like have relation to what you do, Like,
okay, yeah.
Whatever feels most relevant.
Yeah, that's because that's where my experience is around. So like, okay, yeah. There's like some deep advice I could do for that part for 3D Lego people, because there's some people.
I'd say what I've seen, most of the 3D Lego community is teenagers. From what I've seen.
No,
so I think that is pretty relevant, actually.
Okay, yeah, okay. All right, yeah. So people are into 3D Lego animations. It's very common, because I remember when Lego Me ended up on Spider-Verse, all of them are like, I could have done that. I'm like, no, you'd know, just no. And like, I'm like, did you animate the entire Spider-Verse trailers, multiple, in like not even that long, and like upload them in high quality? It's like, no. So like, basically, where I'm getting with that is like, there's a lot of jealousy, because they're like, well, I'm a teenager too, I can do it. But like, the thing is, you can create your own path and do your own things. You don't have to be like copy or try to blend in. You can create your own creations. Like, there's this whole thing in the server Blender Bricks where we call like a hive mind, where basically these whole like once and every now and again there's this whole like genre or type of animation everyone happens to all be making. Like, Spider-Verse trailer releases, oh look, everyone's making it as well. Oh look, everyone's making Western animations all of a sudden, which can be good, but sometimes people just copy each other and steal. I'm like, don't do that. Do something original. So like, I think definitely just don't be jealous of other people. Just understand that you can be in their place, but in another way. You can further yourself to be someone that other people look at and be like, wow, it's great. Don't just don't look at people who are above you like in a bad way. It's an inspiration.
Exactly.
and that you could go far and do something cool like that, right? And yeah, don't be afraid also to like create something crazy or new. Don't just try to go with the norm that people are doing. And it just have fun.
I think that's really good. I like that because it's like, you can get to the point of where someone else is at, but you're never going to be in their exact same shoes. You're going to form your own path, right?
Yeah. It's just a lot of people miss that, especially as teenagers. They just feel like that could have been you. It was like, it could be you in another way.
I think we've all felt that, so I think that's really good.
But yeah, for me personally, I was just proud of him. Because I'm like, I got my work in the movie, and I've been supporting this kid. He's a fan of my channel, so like, it was just really awesome to see.
Like, that's my fan. Yeah, guys, he's a fan of me. You hear that in the theater?
Yeah. Oh yeah, literally. No, I didn't. The crazy thing, I didn't even know my work was gonna be in the movie. Like, basically, let me just summarize what happened. So the night before,
because you say your work because like the mecha
Mecha Face is in there and some other stuff too, but. Basically, all right, let me summarize this event because it's relevant in a way. I don't know.
Yeah.
But basically, I remember I knew Lego Me had something to do with it in a way because I asked him, so are they, like, what did Phil Lord or whatever mean by this tweet? Because he said, we should do something for you. He said something like that in reply to Lego Me. And I was like, and I screenshotted Lego Me, and he's like, I was like, what is this? What is it? And he's like, you'll see. Like, I don't know. You'll see. I don't know. Maybe you'll find out. I'm like, okay. And I didn't think much about it. I didn't think he'd get a part in the movie. So the night of the red carpet, he sends a photo of his name in the credits. Lego scene by Preston Mutonga. I'm like, what do you mean? And the way I actually found out about this, I wasn't active in the server. I was busy. And I go on the server. I see he got mod. I'm like, why does he have mod? Who did this? And then they're like, oh, what, like, well, because I'm like, he's a kid. What the frick? And they're just like, oh, did you not hear? He works on Spider-Verse. I'm like, haha, what are you on about? Like, I was so confused. I was like, you guys are crazy. And then they're like, no, really? I'm like, where? And he's like, come on. I'm like, what? And I go and see his messages, and I see there's him at the red carpet and with the directors. I'm like, what the fuck? Him with the credits. I'm like, what the fuck? So the only thing I knew was he did work on the movie, and the other thing I know is he always uses Mecha Face. So from there on, I was going to see the movie the next day in theaters with friends. I had like a big thing I planned with a bunch of friends, and I was like, fuck, okay, this is gonna be the big moment. Is my work actually in the movie or not? Because that's a big thing for me. Like, that's wild to be in that movie. Like, I never would have thought of that ever happening. And I remember being in theaters. I was like, okay, this is it. Like, oh god. And I saw the Lego scene. I was like, ooh, he's using Nuke in the same compositing setup. I see those ones. And I was like, hey, that kind of counts, not really. And then, when it zooms in, I'm like, I made that face pose. I was like, that's one of the defaults, but he slightly adjusted it. It was so funny.
So cool.
And I was like literally disassociating. I was like, holy crap. Like, the excitement was crazy. I watched that movie like 8 times in theaters with like different people.
8? Dude, I saw it 3 times in theaters.
My work was in it. My work was in it. Okay, I had reason to show people. I watched my grandparents, some of my friends, another friend group, like my family. There's a whole bunch of different people, because it's just so like inspiring to see my work on the big screen, and also the work of a fan of mine that I helped support and made all these tools so you could get up there. Although, why did he credit me? I'm kidding. It's fine. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. It's that's a problem. But if he gets on the next one, I may have talked to him, and if he gets on the next one, maybe I'll finally get my name in a movie.
Well, hey, if you're watching this, you know that the animations were created in part with the help of the tools that Citrine here made. So
yeah,
exactly.
That's right.
So cool.
I made the entire Spider-Verse
movie. He made the whole movie by himself.
I'm actually Lego Me's ghost animator. He actually doesn't do anything. He's just the press guy. He's like the president of his channel, Exactly. He's just there, okay? Obviously. And I'm doing everything. But then that's actually what Digital Luke claims. I'm taking his joke, but it's funny.
So this is like theft inception now. No.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, wow, it is. It's deep, okay?
We've gotten too deep, man. It's crazy.
But yeah, it's yeah. I mean, well, it's cool.
That must have been cool though, to still like see like the tools that you created being used in this movie. Like that's wild. It was
crazy. Like, it was so funny because like I was trying to tell my friends that I'm like, yeah, that is my work. They're like, what? You're haha. Because some of them didn't know much about my YouTube. Like some of them, like certain friend groups I went with. Because one of them like they know everything, and the other one they're like slightly new. And I was like I told them, and they didn't believe me until later and they're like, wait, it actually is. I'm like, yes, I'm not crazy.
Yeah, that's epic, dude. Now you got the bragging rights for that. Like, that's awesome.
It's fun.
I was gonna say it was funny because like I knew there was gonna be a Lego scene in the movie because they made like a press release about that, and I was like, God damn it, why would they do
I
that?
read that and I was like, that's probably nothing to do with Lego Me. I was like, that's probably just some Lego scene. I didn't think it'd be Lego Me.
Right?
Like I read that, I was like, he's probably just saying that because there's probably a little thing.
Exactly.
But, yeah.
No, like I saw that and I was like, shit. Okay, that's annoying that we found out before, but whatever. And
That
then
is-
when
I
I
hate
saw,
when that-
even though I knew it was coming, like I still was like jumped in my seat. I was like, there's a Lego scene. But as I was watching, I was like, huh. That looks a little bit like Blender Lego animation. Wait,
I could,
that
dude, when I
that
saw
looks
it in
like
theater-
Mecha Face. I was like, wait, is that? And I was like, nah,
Exactly.
there's no way. And then I heard the thing about Preston. I was like, I was right.
It's crazy. I remember seeing it because I knew Lego Me's going to see it. And when I saw the Lego, I could instantly recognize the Blender denoising. That's how much I do my stuff. That I saw it, and when the camera first started moving, I'm like, that's Blender. Because like the denoising artifacts are so small, but I can notice it because I do this, use it
Yeah.
all the time. And I was
like,
like,
yeah.
geez, I was like, yep, boom. Use more samples next time. Like next time you're working a movie, Lego Me, please just like get a render farm, please don't use denoising on a movie. But yeah, it was really funny. So that was the first thing. I was like, okay, yep, that's Blender. It was really weird to see the denoising on big screen. I'm like, Jesus. I'm like,
I love that, like, that's something only you would notice because you work, like, so closely. It's like when the artists notice little things in their work and everyone else, like, what are you talking about? And they're like, oh, but there's this thing. And it's like, you just know that because you've worked so closely. But
Exactly,
that's so cool.
yeah,
Man.
I remember seeing that. It was so cool.
That's crazy,
Yeah.
man.
That was
I
a
love
big
that.
moment. Just, having that, my work in that movie is crazy. Never
Yeah.
forget. I'll never forget
Absolutely.
that. It's crazy.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say that's everything. So thank you so much for coming on the show, Citrine. It was absolutely awesome having you. And before we end this episode, do you have any social media or other things of the sort that you'd like to plug?
Yes, I need more subscribers.
More subscribers.
Please, for more big dog content. Citrine's animations on YouTube, I guess. Same thing on probably TikTok, Instagram.
Don't follow the
think
TikTok.
I think my Twitch, if I ever go live on there again, it's like Citrine A Live. Citrine's animations live, but it sounds like I'm just alive, which is funny.
Yeah.
And yeah, also search up for Flapjack 380 or Gerald. Not Gerald. That's not his other username. I keep calling him that. Weahoo. That's like Weahoo, I believe. That's my music guy. Please check him out. He creates great music. I love it. Like, he's actually really talented. So yeah,
Nice.
that's what I have to say.
All right. Sounds good. Before we wrap up, is there like anything else you'd like to say as well?
Dice Quest later
Quest.
this year.
Dice Quest coming.
Please believe me. But
All
yeah,
right.
that's all. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you all so much for watching. It means the world, and I hope you enjoyed. Links to some of the things and people we talked about will be in the description as always, and new episodes released once a month, and you can find updates, announcements, and more regarding the podcast over on my Twitter or Instagram, both of which are at DoodleBricks. Anyways, that's all for now, and we'll see you all later.
Thank you.
Big dog.
Oh!